Hey guys, Trader Tim, TJMacTrading.com. Today we're going to be talking about trend lines and the proper techniques or a technique to draw trend lines. As most trading goes, there's a lot of gray area and there's really not a right or wrong way to do much of anything in trading. So this is my method and the method that I use and a lot of traders use to draw their trend lines. Now, first things first, when I draw my trend lines, I like to set my chart up or my trend line up so it's not a solid line. I use a dotted line. So if I were to draw the uptrend line connecting these higher lows here, I'd simply click the lower bar here and then click connecting as many points as I can along the line. I like to have at least 3 points touching my trend line. If I have two points drawn, I consider that a preliminary trend line and really not a primary trend line or a trend line that is intact or fully formed, so to speak. So we connect these trend lines here. One thing that you can do is switch the chart type over to a line chart, and you can see that the closing prices come down, and with the exception of this guy here, we have 3 closing prices that touch our trend line. So then we can go back to a candle chart and we see, well, we violated here intraday and we did come below slightly over here, but the general trend is up and the general trend line is intact. Like I said, I use a dotted line because the trend line is simply an area. It is not a exact number and not a specific number, as is support and resistance levels. So we have a nice uptrend here, and then we have some open space here where the stock price has moved up but hasn't come down yet and touched the trend line. So another thing we can do is draw horizontal trend lines. So if we were to connect this high over here and extend the trend line to the right, we see that these two trend lines converge at this 107 level. Well, this point would act as much stronger support rather than where we only had one trend line intact. So the more trend lines or the more convergences we have to one point, the stronger that support level will be. And again, if we were to draw a horizontal trend line towards the top of this consolidation here, we see that prices have continued to come up, touch this resistance point, broke a little bit up here intraday, as we see here, and then continue to push back down. So if you were looking to go long, this point here where we have two trend lines coming together would act as a very low risk entry point. You could place your stop below the trend line here, and again, not the exact number, not exactly along the trend line. You want to give a little bit of breathing room. So placing your stop perhaps down towards the 105 level, perhaps under this swing low here. If you wanted to be a little more conservative, you could place your stop down here at the 103 level, looking to go long and looking for a break above this 112, 111.50, 112 area. So that's how I use trend lines. That's how I use them to identify support and resistance points here, looking at where multiple trend lines converge on each other. And I find that to be very effective and very responsive in my trading. So check out the blog for more videos, TJMacTrading.com, and look forward for updates. Take care.